Okay guys, welcome back to this Polymer tutorial, and before proceeding on, I'll first like to apologize to all you guys for not making a tutorial for so long. So now straight ahead we'll just jump into Polymer code, and the first thing that I am going to show you or demonstrate to you guys out here is how to use constants in a Polymer app. That is, we can actually define a Polymer element with a set of constants in it, and then we can use those constants throughout the Polymer app in whichever element we want, after just putting the values of putting in the values in one particular element only. So what I'm actually trying to say is that maybe just consider we have a Polymer app out here. Okay, so this is our Polymer app, which contains a list of elements, and maybe like 20, 30, 50 elements, or maybe if your app just grows larger and larger, it can contain maybe close to like 70, 80 elements, and it's no big deal. And maybe there's a condition like you may be using constants, and you may want that whenever you want to shift your app from development to production, you may want some particular place or string to change for the production code, and you may not actually want to do this thing for kind of 70 to 80 elements each time you shift from development to production and then back again. So what you can do is that you can just define constants in a particular Polymer element, and then we can use those constants throughout the app. So actually you can this is actually demonstrated out here, that we have a Polymer constant element, which is demonstrated by the star because it is kind of the star for the show. And once we have defined it in one place, we can actually use those constants from anywhere throughout the app. So let's dive right in. So how to get this thing working. And so the first thing that you need to do is like just create a new Polymer element. So I'll just quickly create a Polymer element with your Polymer, and I'll name it app constant. Okay, so once I've made it, and I'll also quickly go ahead and remove all this boilerplating stuff from this Polymer app. And this is, by the way, a bare bone Polymer app with no such modifications, and it's the Polymer 1.1.1 version, which is kind of the latest release version. And we'll actually go ahead and include the file in the elements.html. So okay, so once we go into the elements.html file, we can see that the app constant element has been included. Okay, so another thing that we want to do is that we'll just include the new element itself in the index.html file. Okay, so once the app, okay, sorry, I've actually named it app constant. Okay, so once we have included the app constant file in the polymer.html element, one more thing that we have to do is that we have to include the Polymer iron meta element. So we'll just go ahead and do that. So just iron meta and iron meta.html. Okay, so this is actually the element that you can see also in the Polymer docs, which is actually responsible for the whole process to happen, that is the defining of constants and then usage of that constant in any particular place. So once we have defined the app constant and also have included the iron meta element in here, the next thing that you want to just go ahead and do is that you can just remove all this stuff first, and now we just need to define the iron meta tag. Okay, and the iron meta tag actually takes in two things: the key, which is maybe like, I'll just name it app name, and value, and I'll name the value as maybe just anything you want. I'll just name it as Polymer App. Okay, so once you have done this, the next thing that you have to do is that you have to, okay, I'll just first create a element where we'll just use this thing. Okay, so any element, I'll just name it. Okay, and I'll also include it in a files in the html.html file. So once we can just see here. Okay, so the any element is also out here, and what we just will do out here is that just let it be out here and just change the value from bar to any element. Okay, so once we have done that, I'll just put in a ready function. Okay, and variables app constant, I'll just define a constant, and to just get the value from the iron meta element to this, we'll first need to write this code, that is new, and just give a space and write the polymer.iron meta query. Note the camel casing out here, guys, because the polymer out here is in capital P, and the I and the M and the Q are also in capitals. And once you have done that, just put in out here key and just the name of the key that you want the thing. So we have defined the thing as app name out here, so we'll just put the key as app name, and we'll just go ahead and see what has happened. So we'll just see what happens out here. Okay, so nothing is showing up. Actually we also have to include this any element out here. Okay, so let's see what shows up here. Okay, so as you can see out here that the hello from any element is getting printed out here, and the value of, one second. Okay, so we actually haven't just updated this thing. So this dot foo is equal to app constant. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so out here you can see that hello from Orange X Polymer app has been printed, and maybe I'll just go ahead and make it a bit larger so you guys can see this thing clearly, and I'll just give this thing a class, a style of like red, and red. Okay, so this constant out here will be shown in red. Okay guys, so you can see that Orange X Polymer app has been printed, and we can actually create any number of constants in this similar fashion, and the thing would just work automatically. So just in case you want to shift from production to development, or development to production, or kind of just change the value of these constants at any point of time, just change it. So if I just change it to this newly defined constant, we'll see that the code will just update itself, and out here will be showing newly defined constant. So as you saw guys, you can use just one single element would be like the star of the show, and from it all the different elements where we want the constant to be used, we can just pull the constant definitions from there and use it throughout the Polymer app very easily. So that was all guys for this tutorial, and definitely stay tuned for more tutorials guys, because I'll be posting few tutorials from now on every single day. So thank you guys, and please subscribe to the channel, and I'll be also posting all these codes to the GitHub, and the link would be in the video description down below. So thank you guys for watching, and keep subscribing, and thank you.